for one of my friends who came to me for money advice and was so terrified.
What was the advice you gave him? Can you talk about it?
So she has quite a bit of credit card debt, which has really been, she's got some personal stuff going on, and that's been a really big pain point for her. Like most people, she's been very nervous to talk about it, even with me. And I'm like, hey, this is what I do. No judgment, I promise. Because she's like, it's so embarrassing. I can't believe it. So she came over the other day and I said, okay, we're gonna do your money stuff. Like, pull up your apps. We're putting everything in a spreadsheet. We're going to figure it out. And so we got full totals and what her monthly payment is and things like that. And she makes good money. So like we looked at it and I said, hey, like you're doing okay. The problem is it's going to take you 30 years to pay off the amount of credit card debt you have because your interest rates are really high. We planned out a couple different scenarios. One being the debt snowball, so like a DIY plan, and determined how long that would take her. And she's a pretty like rigid, like she will follow something like that. And so she was really excited about that option. And then I said, let's look at Enrich. So we went to Enrich and actually used their credit card comparison to look at like balance transfer consolidation. And then I have some friends at GreenPath Financial Wellness who partner with different credit unions. They're very similar to like Family Means, who's in our area in Minnesota. And they do different debt management and credit counseling. And so I reached out to two of my friends that work there that I've met over the years at conferences and said, hey, I've got a friend. She's a little nervous about this. Can you make a direct referral for me? Or can you how's this process work? Like she's nervous to have the conversation. And my friend emailed me back right away and she said, hey, like we can do a direct referral. This is what I need to build a basic profile. When does it work for her? And so I coordinated times and stuff. And so they're going to call her on Wednesday and talk through just different options and see what they can do. So I'm really excited for her about that. Just because she wanted to go that route, we did talk about, yes, you can get consolidation loans at here or the credit union she does business with, and just kind of looked at interest rates and things. So she hopefully will get full picture from everybody, which is really cool.
Did you see she instantly changed her attitude? She just felt a little bit lighter.
She did. She felt a lot lighter. She was like, I feel like it's so hard to talk about and I didn't want to talk about it. But when we did, and then it was a lot of that, I'm like, one, I've been there first off. So I'm a perfect person to talk to about it. And two, I'm like, there's no judgment. A lot of people have credit card debt. It's one of the bigger financial issues, I would say, just because interest rates and things. And so I said, you're okay. You're not at the point of, you can't truly afford anything else. We're at a point where we have to slim things down a little bit. But I said, this is doable. You can do this. And she's already made some really good progress, cutting up the cards and making extra payments. And she's done a little self-debt management and reaching out directly to the credit card companies. So she's on the right track. But it was reassuring for her to know that she was kind of doing the right things and that there is a path. And so being the expert and giving her the, hey, yes, this is exactly what I'm going to tell you to do. This is what they will tell you to do. Here's your other options. And so she felt really good about that and is excited. She's like, I'm really excited. I'm excited to be out of credit card debt. I'm excited to start this because I can see, the benefit in the future. And I was like, you should be excited. That's the point of, trying to figure this stuff out. So it was really cool. I'm excited for her. I'm excited to see how her phone call goes and see what route she officially takes.
That's great that you helped her. I mean, that's the whole point of the Money Donuts podcast, too, is to bring up those financial situations, good, bad.
Yep.
So I would put it out to anybody right now listening. If you have questions that you want us to answer or talk about, feel free to send those in.
Yes.
If you like this podcast, subscribe, listen, suggest to a friend, or write us a review because that'll help get this out there.
Yeah.
But today we're talking about saving money through vacations, summer fun, funner. I already screwed it up.
Funner stuff.
Oh my goodness gracious! It's summertime and we want to have fun, but we do not want to pay a fortune to have it. We're recording this late June, early July is when it'll probably come out. So I have to say that. So I'll hold myself to it. What have you guys been doing this summer? Anything exciting? Any big expenses or fun trips so far?
Not. I'm trying to think. I don't have anything planned. My summer is usually like I work a lot at my other job just because I don't take classes for grad school in the summer, and try and do fun, free things with the dog is what. So we went to a friend's land, and this past weekend when it was really, really hot, and just sat in the river and played and had a good time doing that. So I don't have anything crazy coming up.
I've been doing all the summer things. So we did a Major League Baseball game. We did camping. We did a water park trip. We did a lot of pool days already. Like, I am crushing it. Maybe not the cheapest things in the world, but
what kind of camping? Like tent camping?
We did tent camping.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did the kids like that? Was it their like first time? Did you take the dog?
We did take the dog.
Did he like it?
He did like it. He did really good. There was a lot of people with dogs, and there was a dog fight, but that's another situation. We ended up leaving at 12:30 the first night because somebody didn't pack a lot of blankets. I'll let you guess who that was. Stacy.
Oh, well.
All right, it was me, but
yeah, I was like, let's give Stacy some credit here.
No, but we packed everybody back up and we just drove back to the house. But then we came out the next day and we had more blankets and we were more prepared and it was great. But
you gotta test it to learn, right?
Fantastic that you were close enough that you could do that.
That's kind of the plan,
yeah. Nice.
Yeah. How about you guys? Any summer activities, expensive or non-expensive?
Yeah, I have some things planned that have been on the more expensive side. We're taking a family vacation in a couple weeks, but the nice thing about that is that all costs are being split between 8 adults, which is a huge lift when it comes to like expenses for summer vacation, because lodging, we're all splitting. Everybody's responsible for a meal, so you don't have to pay as much for food, which is really nice. This past weekend, we went to a music festival, and it's kind of interesting because we got the tickets for free. But when we were there, we ended up spending a lot of money on concessions and food. So it's like, oh gosh, you think you got a really good deal and you're saving all this money because you got free tickets, but then you just go and spend all this money anyways. But it's okay. We had a great time. And then later this summer, we're actually going to a concert, which concert tickets are just so expensive these days. So I'm excited to find some fun things that we can do for free or low money, because we're already up there budget-wise for the summer.
So did you pre-budget for all of that or no? Okay.
The camping trip we booked in January. So the one we're taking a couple weeks, we've had planned and paid for since January.
You've had time to like replenish.
Yes. Yeah. The concert tickets, I will say those were an impulse purchase, but not so much because I've been wanting to see this artist for a while and I missed their last tour. So it was important to me to go to this one.
It's a hard thing about concert tickets and stuff. Like you're kind of like you can't always plan for it. Like sometimes you can, but when it comes down to it, you just gotta splurge.
Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm. What about you, James?
Nice. Yeah, we've been doing a variety of activities too, ranging from like no cost. Like we got the boat out and went fishing. Didn't really cost anything besides the gas to drive to a lake and drop the boat in the lake. And
Did you catch fish?
I guess some worms were another expense there, but yeah, caught some fish.
So free dinner.
Kids had fun. No, we didn't keep the fish.
Oh, never mind.
We caught them and then we released them.
Oh, I love it. Nice.
Yeah, done that. We've done some day trips, like go and check out some museums, go to some other local attractions and stuff like that.
What's your favorite museum you've visited?
My favorite is probably the Minneapolis Institute of Art in the cities.
That's a good one.
It's a popular destination.
Shout out to the Walker Museum. I think there's a Saturday of every month, or maybe the first Saturday of every month, it's free admission.
Ooh.
So we've done that before with the kids and really enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
But I think there's a ton of stuff like that we just don't know about. So has anybody stumbled upon any free activities that are great? And I can go first. I'll take the big one is living in Eau Claire, Chippewa Valley, we have 3 different music nights around that area that you can go and pack a picnic and sit down in the park and listen to some live music. It's a lot of fun. Even walking around farmers markets, and I like that just because I like to see people, and we end up running into people and having little impromptu get-togethers there.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. So for when it comes to Facebook, I only use it for 2 things: to look at Facebook Marketplace and then to look at the events that they have there, because that's like a honey hole of free activities in the area, and you can filter by different locations and dates. Like if you want something for a particular night or a weekend, you can look, and there's so many things. You could just scroll honestly for like 30 minutes straight and just see event after event.
Wait. So tell people how you're doing that. Is it a group or is it like...
No, it's just like a Facebook events. It's like one of their things that they have, just like they have Marketplace, they have their events, so anybody can contribute events to that thing. But yeah, I have found like little free yoga sessions at a lavender farm in the area. You can check out, you mentioned the free music things, like tons of bands that go and play at different locations. You can go somewhere and not spend money on food or beverages or anything, just show up for the entertainment, and that's a great night right there. So that's my hack, and it's awesome.
That one's great. Like game changing for me. So you can just pick out your location and then get all the public events.
That's awesome. I haven't done this. I haven't done it just because I haven't had a lot of free time, but I always recommend checking out your local library for different events.
That was going to be mine.
I also love the library and partnered with them for some financial education things and learned about like the plethora of resources and things they do that happened to be like around election time. So they were hosting that and helping people get registered and doing like after hours book return. It was so cool. Like they were doing the coolest stuff. And I know our Eau Claire library, they have a lot of really great, like I'm trying to think what it's called, the lab where there's like a 3D printer and stuff. And so they do different events.
Dabble box.
Yeah, the Dabble box. So they do all those different events, and I don't know, it's just a cool place to explore.
I also had a library. Let's see.
I was going to call it the Dabble Box as well. There's all these weird, the library of things is a popular option. Was that going to be yours, Steve?
But
you can check out so many things that are not books or media related. Maybe you want to get an energy auditing device, like a plug-in energy monitor to see what your old freezer is costing you each month. Like you could get that from the library or order.
You can?
You can
Oh my
get
gosh.
They have so many.
Like cake pans.
Yeah.
Cake pans, different shapes. Photo scanner. Maybe you got a stack of photos you need to scan in.
So I feel like I have a train of thought that needs correcting here. I was under the assumption that the public library was great for families and kids. But it kind of sounds like
for anybody,
an adult like myself with no children can really benefit too. I had no idea. That's awesome.
And they going back to all their like resources and stuff for adults, like they help with elections, they help with taxes. They like honest to goodness, anything that you might need help with or you're unsure of, like that's what they do. Or they are experts in connecting you with, okay, we don't do that, but we have a partner that does. And it is amazing. And I don't think enough people know like how great the library is and what they do for you. So
do you know they have a seed library in the spring?
No.
Free seeds.
Are you serious?
They have a Spice of the Month club, free spice every month.
I didn't know that.
I need to go to my local library.
At the Eau Claire one, they have a kitchen suite where they do cooking stuff. Sometimes for teens, sometimes for young adults.
Oh my gosh.
But
okay, so this is my
check it out.
This is my familiarity with the library. I went there one time to get a library card so that I could use that library card to check books out through my Kindle.
Okay, that's
so
fair.
It's like I'm
that's
very
also good.
hands off when it comes to my interaction with the library. It's all through my Kindle. Everything. So I
That's
need to
great
get there in
too, though.
person.
But a lot of people don't know about that. The Libby app I use a lot for
that's
like
the one.
free audiobooks. They have TV shows on there that you can rent. They even like their online resources if you don't want to go in. Like you can have access to Ancestry or different softwares that you'd usually pay for, and you can do some of that research or family stuff without paying for it. It's super cool.
Consumer reports, magazine subscriptions, like
everything.
Cooking magazines. Oh, we could riff on libraries for like an hour.
I know.
Yeah.
I got really excited about libraries. I mean,
Maybe we do a library episode and
We
bring in one of our
Yes.
library people from over there.
they're a lot of fun.
They're awesome.
We have, talking about families, though, is one thing we use for like our older kids. They do like teen night at the library. So that's good for them, but then it gets them out of the house and we don't have to pay somebody to watch them.
And they feed them at the Eau Claire one.
Yes. Yep. And so we get to do like a date night because of the library.
Yep.
I love the library.
I know. And they do adult classes too. So we've partnered and done like kid financial education and adult ones, but they bring in all sorts of different people to do different classes for adults and teens and on everything. So, and if there's one you want and you suggest it, usually they'll figure out how to make it happen.
I have to check my messages quick because
you have a book that's getting ready to be checked out.
Yeah, the line.
Your hold is in.
He doesn't text me back. Darn it. My brother, instead of taking a vacation this year, they live in the Twin Cities. They decided to do more of a staycation and explore the city. So he talked about, I texted him to send me the list of things that they were going to do. But I guess he doesn't love me and didn't text me back. So, ouch. This is the way I find out. Hey, this is Future Steve breaking into the podcast. I did receive a text message from my brother like a minute after we got done recording. I felt bad that I called him out, but he had sent me all the details. Maybe I'll put them in the show notes of what they're doing this summer in the Twin Cities area. All right, back to the podcast. But they were going to do, they're like museums. They were going to find like specialty places to eat. So that's a little bit more expensive. But they were going to do some like hiking in Taylor Falls and get out there and do, more nature stuff too. So kind of just explore home base instead of going somewhere else and doing a vacation like they usually do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this past heat wave that came through our area, the kids were like, can we get out the pool? We have a kiddie pool. It's like 6 feet across, like 10 inches deep.
Sometimes that's all you need.
My kids are like 11, 8, and 6. I was like, you're not all going to fit in there together, but go for it. Like, fill it up. And that was, they did that one day and they were right out there again the next day. They wanted to do it again in the worst possible way. So it was so cute.
So do you see a bigger pool in your future for the backyard? Or?
I thought about it, but I'm not ready for the commitment. Like, besides the initial outlay, you got to maintain that thing. You got to, make sure that the balance of chemicals or something. I don't even know. I'm not up for that. Like, we're in Wisconsin.
I know. You get what, like 2 good solid months out of it sometimes.
So yeah, maybe instead of having a pool, buying a pool pass.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
A day pass to a pool.
Or maybe the pool is a long-term investment and it's totally worth it if you know you're going to use it that much and that is your money-saving thing. You're like, I'm staying at home. I'm drinking drinks from Sam's Club today. Like, that's my thing.
And YouTube can teach you anything you need to know maintenance-wise.
That's true. There's probably a whole podcast on maintaining your pool too. I mean,
yeah, if you've got the space for it in the right setting.
And I've seen people get really crafty with homegrown pools of like using pallets and building a pallet pool.
Yep.
Or have you seen the ones where they use like the livestock tanks?
Yes. Those are really cool.
Pop down to the farm store and see what they've got.
How does that work?
Facebook Marketplace. Check or something there.
Usually like seal it. Like there's like the paint on sealers and stuff. And so they'll seal it. And then because you can just, drill into the side of like the steel. They do like a filter, and because it's metal, it heats it, being out in the sun. And so they're really cool. The other thing I really love, and I think they're probably more expensive than the traditional pool, but I really like the natural pools that kind of look like a pond. So you can do that in your backyard, but I assume the maintenance is probably pretty extensive.
Probably.
Yeah.
Got to do some research. Got to do some homework.
There's all sorts of pool options.
So I was looking on Enrich, and for anybody who doesn't know, Enrich is our free financial education platform that members and non-members can use. There are so many different resources on there, but I found some that talk specifically about summer activities. And then I also found some that were talking about spring break, but I feel like spring break and summer break, those kind of go hand in hand. So you can use tips from both. But I found one article where it was about 5 tips for having a fabulous and financially fit summer vacation. And I just wanted to share a few tips on here that I really liked. So if you are planning to travel, it's a good idea to choose a place where you know that people that you can stay with. We have done this personally. We have an aunt who lives out in Colorado in the Denver area. So yeah, if you are paying for those flight tickets, maybe on the end you can save on lodging by staying with somebody that you already know, because honestly, lodging can cost more than flights in a lot of scenarios. Another one on here was to use public transportation, because Ubers are really expensive and rental cars are really expensive. So if you can pick up like a 3-day bus pass or something, that'll save you a ton of money. And then Steve, you actually mentioned this one, visiting county and state parks or national parks. Unfortunately, around here, we don't have close access to national parks, but we do have a lot of county and state parks, and those can be a lot of fun to go explore and hike. And I think you can pick up like a summer park pass. James, do you have one of those?
I have the state pass.
The state pass.
That's
How
what
much
you're
are
asking?
those? Yeah.
I think it's the whole year. It's good for all year.
Okay.
They're pretty
I think it's less than $30.
Yeah.
And if you have, if you're like me, I have them on both cars, so you get a discount on your second one. So
yeah, that's sweet. So then that gives you unlimited access to them.
Come and go.
That's a good cost savings.
One thing you can look at to the DNR website, and then also there's their Landmark Conservancy is one of the businesses I think of up here. But there's like a lot of access to public land that people don't know about. And they mark like, can you bring your dog? Can you not? Because a lot of the state parks, some you can bring your dog, some you can't. That is something I tell people about all the time. Like if you want water access, if you want to hike, if you want to see birds, checking out the DNR, like the conservancies in the area are really cool.
Did you get really into birds recently, or did I dream that
No,
up?
my aunt is
that's me.
really into birds.
That's you?
That was me, remember?
I try
yes.
to avoid
Eagles.
the bird
Whatever.
craze.
That's the perfect low-cost summer activity. Bird watching?
That is, yes, but I just,
Sign me up.
there is if you didn't know, there's a Bird Watchers of Wisconsin Facebook group that you could all join. So my aunt is part
They probably
of
have
it.
an event coming up.
They probably do. They probably
It's silly,
do.
but we have bluebirds that nest in our yard every year. So
Lucky.
every year we're like, we're bluebird parents again. And
Oh my
like it's a
gosh.
whole thing with the kids. It's a big deal. So
I do have a nest right next to my apartment door on one of the, I don't
Got a
think it's a
robin that's
robin.
living
I don't
there?
think it's a
No?
robin.
Okay.
There was this, I shouldn't say on the podcast, but there was a beautiful robin, but it was dead right on
my
the
gosh.
rocks, and I felt so bad. But I think it's a smaller bird, like maybe a sparrow, or I don't know what season they are. But every time I walk outside, it panics and flies away, and I wish I could be like, I'm not, like, just stay in your nest. It's okay.
Just be careful with nests by your door or your window or any point of entry, because they can have mites and then they can get in your house and then infest your house.
New fear unlocked.
Now I'm like, well, what do I do about that?
So watch from a distance.
Yeah, don't.
So they say that because a lot of the time people, if they have wreaths on their front door, birds will build their nests in their wreaths. So they just say to relocate them at least 10 to 20 feet away from your home.
And they can
in a
find
tree.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not far enough for them to lose it. Like they can still locate it. But then it at least gives that distance where if they do have anything, not all birds have mites, but if they do have mites, they won't get in your house if they're that far away.
Never would have thought of that. Truly. That was a really good tip.
Yeah.
Think of the cost savings of.
Yeah. You don't have to pay for an exterminator.
You can probably see it better too, but
Probably.
whatever. Okay.
Yeah, put it somewhere where you can see it. It'll be great.
Is this in the article? I was thinking of cashing in your perks. Like if you have a rewards credit card that you've kind of forgotten about
Yeah.
or anything
Yeah.
else like that.
That was tip number 1 that I skipped over. Utilize any acquired miles to cut down on travel costs.
I'll just share this. So we gathered up all of our Scoopy tokens. If you're from the Midwest, you know what Scoopy tokens are, right? And we totally had
They're a
enough
big deal.
to score some free meals
Yeah,
from Culver's.
for
Love
sure.
that. Perfect picnic. Go get
The
like
tr-
Scoopy token.
You got to
free
be
meal.
organized. You got to find them, gather them up from the
Yeah,
glove
it's
box, magneted to the side of the fridge, found in the random stack of bills by the entryway, collected from the kids' backpacks, wherever they lived. You got to consolidate.
What is it? You need 8 or 10 for
10.
10 for a meal. Okay, for a kid's meal.
I will say one of my best summer savings hacks is the fact that my birthday is in summer, because then when all those free birthday treat emails and text messages come through, I could just have a heyday.
Birthday offer circuit. That's right.
So if you have a summer birthday, sign up for as much as you can now, because some people or some places, they require you to sign up at least a month or 2 in advance of your birthday before you can actually start getting those birthday rewards. So sign up for those.
Mm-hmm. And some of them even do like birth month. So you might get it in the beginning and depending when your birthday is. So you can kind of stretch all that out for a while.
Set up a specific birthday email that's only for birthday.
You have 12 emails and each one is tied to a different month.
Steve birthday email 1, Steve birthday email 2, Steve birthday email 3.
It's like jansteve@gmail.com, febsteve@gmail.com.
By the time you go through all that hassle, are you really saving anything? Like, we had a coworker that had that experience with their daughter, right? And she's like, by the time we drove around for everything for her birthday, like, we were both exhausted. And I'm not sure it was worth it. So
I would agree with that. It's dedication. I like to pick, like, get my coffee in the morning, get a treat, and then, like, dinner or something like that. I try to just pick what is going to be most useful for the day.
But it's great that there are tons of ways to save money on summer activities, which is why we're going to be doing a summer challenge. Steve, do you want to tell us about it?
challenge.
Yeah, it is the Money Donuts Summer Savings Fun Per Dollar Challenge. So official rules, if you're playing at home, we are going to determine who can have the most fun with the least amount of money. So for $10 or less, from this point on, from hearing it to the next one, the four of us are going to individually go out and try to have the most fun in a summer activity for less than $10.
Is it $10 per person? What if I bring my family, or is it flat?
It's flat.
And we want to limit it to $10.
Yes.
I didn't feel like I had a say in this, but that.
I know
okay,
I didn't.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And is it per activity or for the challenge time frame?
I would say per activity, and then you have to come back and present your activity to the group with your...
We've got some fine print here. Total dollars spent across all activities. So maybe that $10 is... Yeah. Steve, to your point, I think that makes sense.
A lot of this I'm just making up as we go.
What?
I mean,
how's that different than normal?
Exactly.
There's literally a sheet that tells us exactly what the rules are.
Well, it's
Fun, like amount of fun percentage.
It says all data must be submitted honestly and in good spirits.
it's going to be a little subjective. Like, how are you planning to measure how much fun you're having, Cooper? Are you going to create a fun rubric and, have multiple categories that you're scoring your fun levels in?
Well, there's
kidding.
a rubric on here. Oh no, that's a money. There's
So there's a little
fun
bit of
score.
There's
Fun,
a little fuzz.
Fun score, self-rated or peer-reviewed, and then
right here. So if you're watching video, I'm holding up. I can put this up.
oh, okay,
It's
beautiful.
a whole table of what
Fun.
we can calculate. Here, I'll
It's like a spreadsheet.
like a spreadsheet.
Okay, I love it.
To be fair, our multimedia marketing intern Ben put this together, and then
He left us.
and then he just
He's coming back. He's on a temporary vacation to London.
So he's not participating because his fun per dollar.
We should have
is
made
like
him participate
negative.
and find free things to do in Europe.
Oh gosh.
the kicker is you have to video blog your experience, and then we will put those into this podcast, and everyone will judge.
I feel like when I was an intern, we did something like this. I remember vlogging about like free things to do in my area.
Oh,
I'm trying to remember.
See, you feel like you have a head start on us. I don't
I don't know that I have a head start, but
And like, we're not counting the cost of anything that we already have access to. Like, let's say
like James's park pass.
Let's say you already bought a park pass for the year. Does that count? Do I factor that in?
I would not factor that in. I would say from this point on, anything you're going to purchase.
Okay. So like if he gets ice cream at the national park.
Yes.
Okay.
But if we ride our bikes that we already own, like that would be
Yeah, you wouldn't
Right.
count like the cost
No.
of your bike.
okay. Okay.
Like that could be a totally free if you're going to like the free park for free music. That could be a totally free activity.
But I would include gas in that situation. So, I mean, I could drive to
Your bike uses
Chicago.
gas.
Well, I get what you're saying though. Like, yeah. Just factor in the transportation,
Okay.
overhead, whatever.
So if it's free
yes,
in
and
Chicago,
my motorcycle does take gas.
well, I know, but
he was going to buy a scooter, remember?
yeah. My aunt has a scooter that she loves.
Oh, I thought she was going to. She
No,
just wants to
it's-
sell you, Steve.
She doesn't. It's a little red one. She drives it around.
Does it have a horn? Beep,
Yeah,
beep.
literally.
Just
Yep. She
It's all fun and games till it starts to rain. So
loves
anyway.
it.
So prediction wise, who do you think is going to really do a good job at this, and who's not?
Me.
I know. I was like, I really feel like Alexis might I feel like she could.
If there's two things you need to know about me, it's that I'm very competitive and I love to have fun. So this is my challenge.
I feel like this is her challenge. I am competitive, and this is gonna push me outside my comfort zone. So I'm into it. Wait, can we do one activity together? Like all of us together, like a
Not if it's going to run up my budget. Like,
Well,
come
no,
on.
But I'm saying,
That should be
we
the
went
top
to
of the
Steve's-
summer
we
tips
went to
list.
Steve's
Like,
that
just say
one
no.
time. We went to Steve's that one time. Like, we could just have like a fire and marshmallows and like something. I don't know.
But you have to bring the marshmallows. That's going on your budget.
Oh.
By the time I drive to Steve's house, that's $10 in gas right there. Just kidding.
You think that I don't already have some more ingredients? I do, because they're my favorite.
You'd have to drive to Steve's house too. That's it right
Yeah,
there.
I'm willing to
$10.
host you guys.
It does not. It actually
I can
does,
host too, Steve.
does not cost me $10 to drive to Steve's house.
We're talking about fun per dollar here. Like, even if it's $6, you got to factor in, like, is it going to be worth it?
To hang out with all of you, yeah.
But if you're listening to a book on tape through Libby while you drive,
Then it's free.
That's a
What?
double.
What
now
is
you're
this math? Now
Girl
you're
math.
stacking it?
Girl math.
It's like a multiplier?
Summer fun math.
That's how you have to do it, honestly.
This is gonna get real.
It's
Yeah,
like
you have
when
to
I-
stack.
You're listening to a free book while eating the granola bar bites that you made earlier from
Yes.
ingredients that were already in your pantry, pedaling your
Yeah.
free
Might
bicycle.
Well, I'm
ride,
taking pictures
100
of nature.
planning a
It's-
canoe
yeah.
trip with the lunchbox from your
Like,
backpack.
it's just like if I use my Starbucks stars, it's free, even though I had to spend money to get them. But it doesn't matter. It's free.
I told you guys that I have a private plane already.
I feel like the gas
It's a
factor
little
of
one,
that,
right.
the fuel might
It's
be a little.
inflatable.
I've got a private plane too. The kids fly it around the yard sometimes. Like,
It's an inflatable.
it's made out of
plane.
paper. It's from a folded sheet of paper, but yeah, it's mine.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm in. Challenge accepted.
If you're listening to this and you want to send me ideas, please just send it through the Money Donut social pages.
That we all have access to.
Shush. See,
Oh,
I
sorry.
will only look. No, I don't know. You have access? They don't give me access.
Pretty sure I have access to
Oh,
it.
wow. You find out who your true friends are.
Did we miss anything? Did we cover it all? Got all the rules laid out?
Must not exceed $10.
Just so you know, the participant with the highest final score wins.
What do we win?
A prize or a non-prize.
to be
To be
determined.
determined, or just bragging rights. If Steve wins, he gets bragging rights. If I win, I get a year's supply of apple fritters.
My idea is to put it back on Ben when he comes back into the country of being like, all right, now we're all in. We've recorded the podcast. What is the prize? And then he can message us and
I mean, it feels right. It was his idea. This is fun.
Well, game on.
game on.
I
That's
like it.
Now we all slowly back away from the microphone.
It's like, can I start saving money
And-
right now?
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Play along, and we'll see you at the end of the month.